Hello, I'm Logan Christopher from Legendary Strength, and in this video we're going to talk about the forearm stand. The forearm stand is a hand balancing movement where you are balanced across your hand and your forearm. Now, a lot of people get to the handstand and do handstands without ever having tried this move, but you'll see this by many old-time hand balancers. It's also used in yoga quite often. The cool thing about this is it is easier to do than a handstand if you work at it a little bit, and it can be useful as a lead-up stunt to the handstand. So when you're first starting with this, it's important to note that it requires more back flexibility than a handstand requires. Now, a lot of people get into an arch position in a handstand. The forearm stand usually takes a little more. It's really pretty much impossible to have a straight back position in the forearm stand. So if you don't have the requisite back flexibility, you may need to improve that doing some things like bridging, for instance. When you're first starting out with this movement, because it can be a little awkward feeling, I highly recommend you do it against a wall, just to get a feel for it. Then once you've done that and have practiced that, you can come off the wall, then you can start kicking out in the open. So you're going to start kneeling on the ground here. You want your forearms to be parallel and laid flat across the ground. You don't want to come to a position like this. Here you're going to have a lot of good balance forward and back. Get into a sprinter's type stance with the forearms on the ground. You're going to kick one leg, then the other leg is going to trail and follow. For how close you are to the wall, you're going to want to be fairly close to the wall. Not too close, but not too far away that you're going to need a very extended arch in order to get into that position. The important thing when you're in that position, really push back with your chest, open that up so you're not collapsing forward. A common mistake with the forearm stand is to hunch forward like this. Ideally, you want a 90-degree bend in the arm, not here, but really along the back side. So look for that so you're here rather than collapse forward. It can be very hard to get out of position if you're stuck here, so you want to do that. Now once you're here, you can bring the legs off and start balancing. And it is normal when you're balancing for the hands to come in a little. Just start here, and that can be alright. You just don't want to get them too far up like this. Then once you're practiced, make sure you've done that enough times. The hard thing about the forearm stand, it's harder to get out of it than a handstand where you can just cartwheel or step out to the side. Here, tucking and rolling may be best. You can still go out to the side, but work with that a little bit or have a spotter to help you. So that is the basics of the forearm stand. Like I said, this can be a great lead-up movement to the handstand itself. Lower base of gravity, wider center of support, makes it easier to balance, and you're still focusing on keeping your body tight and all that stuff that will contribute towards the handstand. Make sure to check out legendarystrength.com for more information.